Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue, get to the third concept for our classical China era. Guo is today's character. And finally, you see the difference between simplified and traditional. They look very different. And 2,000 years ago's dictionary is closer to the traditional. So something happened in the simplified version. Simplified version simply put jade in this box, which can be perceived as the borderline of nation. So every nation has to be an integral part, and this border becomes the defining, at least to the outsiders, that's within that boundary, that's this nation. So you have to be geographically bounded. And this is the big box. And simplified Chinese simply put jade in there, which can kind of make sense as well because Chinese culture traditionally value jade so much. It's equivalent to today's obsession with diamond in today's commercial society. So jade was China's diamond back then. So we value that, and we put what we value in the center of the borderline. It's like almost like you want to value this piece of land that is yours, your nation. Okay, ancient rendering is like a little bit more complicated. How to define a nation? Okay, the ancient philosophers make it clear that to be regarded as a nation, you have to have a military. It has to be, you have to have strong enough military to make the land that you put up the fence or the borderline to be defensible. So weaponry is the number one thing throwing there, not a peaceful fraction, no, shatterable jade thing. It's actually military in there. Okay, so this is our weaponry icon, Guo. So I believe this Guo was covered in the previous Paleolithic or Neolithic age. Since humans comes into our, I guess, grow or evolve, then since we have tribes, this military, this fighting gear is a necessity for survival, either kill or get killed. So this weaponry within that boundary. Okay, so it's not like you're going out to offend. Here is in defensive position. You have the weaponry within the boundary of your nation. And now we have a smaller circle. Okay, smaller circle simply, again, to emphasize this is a piece of land you're defending. And this horizontal line, that's a Chinese philosophy to talk about. Okay, so here is the bottom um, relative to the framework. It's on the lower end, not on the higher end. Okay, this bottom means ground level, and so Chinese regard we have kind of like the Genesis story of how we regard we came into being. First, it's a universe, it's all dark, and then let there be light, right? And then this heaven earth separation thing. So Chinese regard we are on the ground. So this is kind of a cosmic view of Chinese, like there is outer space, a universe out there, but we cannot get there. We are on the ground level. So this one line simply draw us through gravity before the ancient people know what that is or conceptualize that on the ground level. And then here, this two-dimensional thing, which is this enclosure of circle or square looking thing, is a piece of land. And so here we're telling you this boundaried piece of land that's defensible, that's on the ground, not outer space, is the definition of a nation. I would say the concept, the core of it is it's a defensible land. That's the definition of nation. So the way a nation can retain its integrity to be not offended, invaded, is to have strong enough military. Ancient times already it's put right there in our character. All right, 国家. So we have nation and we have home together, paired together. Two levels of unit of things. Home is your bloodlines, the people from your same family gather together under the same roof. What nation would be under the same ruler? So when we pair it, 国 and 家 together, do you think it's a nation or it's a home? It's a two dramatic, two ends of the spectrum that we coin it together. So 国家 in Chinese, in contemporary Chinese, means nation, your homeland. So this is equivalent of homeland, like English too, right? We pair home, which is your where you are born, with land, the bigger land mass beyond your own domestic scale. It's a whole nation scale. So this is a Chinese homeland equivalent, except we say nation, home. Okay. 国情, again, national level. 情 means condition, means how things are going. And 情 in today's world is more about your feelings. And here, even if even if it's about your feelings, but I guess in today's context, 国情is more quantified, I guess verifiable, checkable, statistics, kind of things about your nation. How to describe it? Everybody have a sense, right? And you can interview as many or survey a poll, take a poll, but eventually the 国情, how to measure, diagnose, is going to be quantifiable metrics. So that's 国情. And 国产, nation made. Okay, again, this is in relative from the perspective of Chinese users. So when they say 国产, nation made. So instead of in outside of China, we're so used to see made in China. So it's imported from China, right? Relative to outside China world. But from the China, living in China people's point of view, 国产, 国 means their own country made. So it's kind of in America, people say made in USA, right? They have to say made in USA. They don't say made domestically. They probably say, but it's not on the label. It's not because I guess in America people are so used to import. So almost everything is made in somewhere. And when it's made within their own land, they still use the same language structure versus the Chinese would say 国产, like this is made within this nation, within the nation made. That's what that means. And here is screenshot of some Chinese website that's promoting this, I guess, the dynamics between what is nation, what is home. So here the phrase is nation is 1,000, 10,000 homes. So nations are made of homes. With nation, only with home. That means only when we have the nation, then you can have your home. So home's existence is predicated or preconditioned or dependent on nation. So there is a dependency there. Therefore, this is the logic of, I guess, raising a whole generation of patriots in China, that you have to defend the nation because this is the logic that only with this nation, which is CCP regime, then you can have your home. We all know it's propaganda here outside China, right? But I was raised on this thinking, the home and the nation inseparable, and you have to defend your nation because you have to defend your home. In a way, it's true, right? It is that logic, but it's not thinking, I guess, many other aspects of it. The whole political apparatus was not considered there. So definitely this is a propaganda to equate nation with home, to let you blend, entangle the two concepts so that you don't think about yourself. You think to be more altruistic, to think on behalf of your nation. Okay. Here we go. Nation, 国. Thank you very much for your time. See you another day.